Hello, it is Sunday, September 29th, 2024. Steve Cypress here in full all-out Let's Go Mets gear. We got one of my Mets shirts, one of my Mets hats, one of my Mets pair of shorts. We are all decked out, and the New York Mets came through today. A lot of hometown implications going on here on today, which was the final day of the Major League Baseball season, although not for the Mets. So the Mets shut out the Milwaukee Brewers today, the city where my beautiful wife Michelle was born. That's where they were today. They won a game to stay alive in the playoff hunt, which, by the way, the New York Mets do have the number one best record in all of Major League Baseball over the past 4 months of the season. So be kind of ashamed to see them choke it out at this point. And they have a chance to do just that and miss the playoffs with a makeup doubleheader tomorrow. New York Mets are on their way to Atlanta to play the Atlanta Braves in a doubleheader. They'll be the only two teams playing tomorrow when the rest of the Major League Baseball team season has ended, because thanks to that hurricane earlier this week, the Mets games, I think it was Tuesday and Wednesday, both rained out in Atlanta. So they're making them up tomorrow. And if the Braves win both games and the Mets lose both games, the Mets will be out of the playoffs. And the Diamondbacks, the hometown here, Arizona Diamondbacks team, will be in the playoffs. Similarly, if the Mets sweep the doubleheader and win both games against the dreaded Atlanta Braves, the Mets will be in the playoffs, and the Braves will be out, and the Arizona Diamondbacks will be in the playoffs. However, if the Braves and Mets split the games and win one each tomorrow, then they are both in the playoffs, and the Arizona Diamondbacks are out. So all kinds of things going on. Plus, the New York Mets could be headed back up on their way to Milwaukee if they win one of the games tomorrow to start the playoffs on Tuesday. If they sweep the Braves and win both games tomorrow, they get to fly to San Diego to start the playoffs against San Diego, because San Diego came in a little behind Milwaukee this year. So all bets are off, of course, about which team is best to play in the playoffs, because a lot of factors come in, which is why you don't get a lot of repeat champions since this expanded wild card thing going on in baseball. You get all kinds of, hot teams are going to win no matter what they did during the regular season. You got the pitching matchups all getting messed up, including, of course, the Mets and possibly the Braves getting all messed up, having to throw their top pitchers today and tomorrow in the doubleheader right before the playoffs, just so they can make the playoffs, while other teams have been resting their pitchers and some of their top players for a little while now, getting ready for the playoffs. So all bets are off, which is why it's really cool. Even if a team just sneaks into the final playoff spot, they still got a shot to go all the way to the World Series. I believe that's what we saw last year with the Arizona Diamondbacks. They barely made the playoffs, and then they went all the way to the World Series because they got hot at the right time. And this is the right time for the New York Mets to get hot and win at least one game tomorrow, although it would be fantastic to win both games tomorrow and knock the dreaded arch-rival Atlanta Braves completely out of the playoffs and send the Arizona, hometown here in the Phoenix-Scottsdale area, team into the playoffs along with the Mets. So cool thing is, not only are all New York Mets fans, of course, rooting for the Mets to win the doubleheader tomorrow, but the Arizona Diamondbacks fans are as well, or at least the Diamondbacks fans are rooting for one of the teams to sweep the doubleheader tomorrow. So they don't care who wins game one. Whoever that is, they'll be rooting unbelievably. All Diamondbacks fans and players will be rooting for whatever team wins game one tomorrow to win the second game. That's their only chance of making the playoffs after they kind of choked a little bit here in the last week, losing a few games that they really should not have lost. Otherwise, they'd be in the driver's seat. But the Diamondbacks did win today. The Mets did win today. Braves lost today. So that sets it all up for tomorrow. And I'll be wearing more ridiculous Mets gear tomorrow with game time here on the West Coast starting around 10 a.m. for the doubleheader. They want to get it going early. to give whoever makes the playoffs a chance to rest a little bit more and get out of town Monday and go to wherever they got to go to start playing immediately on Tuesday. So we're hoping that's my beloved, but almost always disappointing New York Mets. So let's go Mets. That'll do it for Sunday, Fun Day, September 29th, 2024. I'll catch you back here again tomorrow on Direct Mail Monday.